My name is E.G. Hunter, and I'm the CEO of the National Works Agency here in Jamaica. The National Works Agency has as its mandate the development of safe, reliable road network in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would your message be to the Caribbean road community?
Well, I suppose it's a well-known cliche that the road to development is the development of roads. That has been proven to be true here in Jamaica. Our road network is very extensive and also very expensive. The challenge that we have here in Jamaica is how do we mobilize enough funds to be able to maintain the roads in a good condition, and I would suspect that the other islands in the Caribbean have a similar challenge. So one strategy obviously is for us all to try and pool funds and get the work done. But I think the more enduring philosophy would be how do we make sure that we get the maximum out of every dollar spent. In other words, when we spend $1, do we get 50 cents out of the dollar or do we get 90 cents out of the dollar? So in a sense, I think I'm talking about efficiency. How do we improve the efficiency of our operation so that we can maximize the returns from each dollar spent? That I think is a philosophy or a thesis that has relevance not just here in Jamaica, but the entire Caribbean.
And what can the IRF do to help you answer those questions and to reach that goal?
What I might call cross-fertilization benchmarking, comparing what it is that works and works well in other locations, and how can we jump the learning curve by being exposed to these experiences. I'm sure that best practices exist in many different locations, and to the extent that the IRF can be a clearinghouse to share those experiences with its member countries, then that would be useful to our purpose. This can be achieved through the regional seminars, the national seminars, and just by exchanging information on a continuous basis. So I think the IRF can play a very significant role in that respect.
And as a valued member of the IRF, what would you say is the most important reason you're here, and how has your experience been at this Congress?
Well, for me personally, I'm relatively new to the road sector, just been in it now for 3 years. So from a personal point of view, this is a learning experience for me. I get to be exposed to the various technologies in traffic management, and road safety, road construction. I get also to compare and contrast what we do here in Jamaica with what's done in other locations. From an institutional point of view, the National Works Agency has been a long-standing member of the IRF, and we have benefited from exchanges based on our membership, and that is something that we'd like to continue. So overall, I think the experience has been good, mutually beneficial. I would like to think that the IRF has benefited from us being a member. This is the second time we're hosting this conference in the last 3 years. So we must be doing something good for the return visit. And we look forward to similarly hosting the conference in future.
And one last question. What would you say is a good reason to come back for other delegates next year?
We have been doing fairly well in Jamaica in terms of road construction. Not just the physical construction, but the techniques that we've been using to deliver road solutions. We've recently benefited from a $600 million investment from the Chinese government. And this is a private investment being funded through China Harbor Engineering Company, and it's for a toll road. We also, in the last 10 years, have built what we call the East-West Highway 2000. So we've ventured into toll roads while we're still continuing to maintain freeways. In a small economy such as ours, that's a very delicate balance that we need to maintain. Roads, after all, is a public good to a large extent, and so we have to be able to afford the financing to provide free roads for the population. But at the same time, if we want to make that quantum leap to a more developed society, we have to encourage private sector participation, and that's what the toll roads have done for us.
Okay. Do you have any last words about the Caribbean road community or the IRF or this Congress in general?
Well, one of the vulnerabilities of the Caribbean region, obviously, is our susceptibility to weather events, particularly hurricanes and tropical storms. And from experience, there's nothing more devastating to our road network than the passage of a tropical storm or a hurricane. What that does for us is to deposit or precipitate a significant liability on member states to be able to repair roads in a very short time period. The question is, where do you get the funds? And if the funds come from the central treasury, it means that the repairs are undertaken at the expense of something else that was pre-programmed. So some kind of catastrophic insurance umbrella would be useful to us particularly, and I think that the IRF could be instrumental in developing that concept, developing the model for that kind of catastrophic insurance, and assisting with some sort of global funding of such a facility. Because in the immediate aftermath of a hurricane, if the road networks are not available, then nothing happens. So I think that is where I would want them to place some attention.